All right, guys, got Coach Spav here for Monday availability. Good questions.
Jake, how do you feel like you guys are at this far into the camp, just based on your expectations coming in with your offense getting installed and everything?
Yeah, that's kind of a tough question to answer, but I feel like they're progressing every single day. I'm still trying to figure it all out. They're trying to figure out me. I'm still trying to figure out them. We're working on a different style of play in terms of tempo, but for the most part, I think they're showing signs of having success. They're understanding the whole general concept of our offense, and it kind of shows how we're very close in what we're trying to accomplish, and how we can keep improving and keep working on it. So I've been very pleased with them. They're showing up, they're working, they're putting the effort in, and and they're showing progress. So that's from a coaching standpoint, that's all you ask for, is that they're continuously getting better.
You and Mike Lesh seem to have a pretty good relationship coming in here. How do you feel like your offense is meshing with what the line is doing?
Meshing very well, and we're very, very simple right now. We're just running the base plays, and Coach Sermon is doing a lot of different looks for us, which is a great teach tape. So we're seeing bear fronts and zero pressures and just boundary pressures and field pressures that are all great discussions. And Blesh and I have kind of been raised in this system together, and we know the breaking points of it all and what we need to accomplish and what we need to work on. And he's been very easy to work with because all he wants to do is these are the plays we're going to work on, and then I just kind of go from there, to help his O-line out. So really appreciate the relationship I have with Mike.
Where do you feel like you've seen the most progress now, getting closer to the halfway point of spring?
I think they're buying into the tempo. I think they understand, how running the ball efficiently is going to help out a lot of other aspects of the game. So we're really putting an emphasis on running the football, and I think that's starting to show. And we still got a long ways to go. It's only 5 practices in, but from the most part, I think they've got the identity of what needs to be accomplished, and we just need to keep working through it all.
What was some of your takeaways from Saturday?
I got a lot of reps in. There was situational football for the first time. And the thing that I've asked Coach Wilcox is if we just go. Put us in scenarios and situations that we may have not coached yet, but we can coach off of. So we were in a lot of 2-down territory plays in the scrimmage, and a lot of great conversations with the quarterbacks, and just the communication between me and the quarterbacks on just how we. They're thinking it's 3rd down and 7, and they want to get the first down. And when we got 2 plays, you need to take the efficient, do the efficient thing, either hand it off or do what the defense is doing. So it's a lot of great conversations due to the situational football part of it. But we haven't put much of our offense in. We've got the base gist of it in, but the rest is just making sure that we're operating at a high level and targeted to the right people and blocking the right people and running the right routes and depths and everything of that nature. So. Ended up having to bring the quarterbacks came up again on Sunday just to kind of talk our way through it all, because we got so much tape to teach off of, and it was a short turnaround from Saturday to this Monday.
How would you assess the running backs up to this point? It feels like you have a pretty nice rotation there.
We do. Coach AT does a really good job, and just kind of managing all those guys out with Jay Knott and obviously Byron Cardwell. Those guys have been getting the blunt of all the carries right now, but everybody else, Ashton Stredick has done phenomenal right now. I think Ashton has proven to himself that he's worthy of getting into the mix, and and you got Bo Tagalova, and he's doing an awesome job too. He's the fan favorite. When he goes in the game, everybody gets fired up. But just overall, those backs are working hard, and the progress they've made from practice 1 to practice 5 is night and day, and I think they're just going to continuously get better as more stuff we put on them.
Back to Tagaloa, you used him sporadically. You ran him 3 straight times this practice. He loved knocking heads out there.
Yeah.
And what do you see him fitting into your overall game plan? Just kind of playing around with it right now?
Yeah, just playing around with it right now. Obviously, there's no depth chart set. There's no, everybody's getting a fair amount of plays and an equal amount of plays. And I always love watching him go in because he always sparks the energy on the sideline, because, today he went 3 straight plays, and he's not looking to go lateral. He's going north and south. So he's a very physical runner, and I think, the more you rep him, the more, comfortable you are playing this kid, So, just excited about, the progress that he's been doing right now. And, maybe he's going to work himself into a vital role, maybe a short yardage package.
So can you talk a little bit about your tight ends? You've used them some years, you've kind of de-emphasized them some years. What do you see in this group?
I think they're really talented players. I think with Asher, Alberding, and JT Byrne, and you got Jeffrey Johnson, and you got Mojo, and I'm missing one more. Injuries has been playing unbelievable lately. Yeah, and they're doing well. And when I was here in 16, I didn't have a tight end, so I had Malik McMorris, and then he was awesome for me. When I got to West Virginia, I had an NFL tight end, and I utilized him every single snap because he was just a talented player. And I do think that these guys are talented, just from an athletic standpoint, and just like they can do it at a high level. So you're going to see us utilize these tight ends a lot.
And JT and Asher seem to be pretty physical. Are they kind of an extension of the offensive line?
They are, and they have to be. Right now I am splitting them out. So right now I'm doing extremes when I'm calling plays. I'm either condensed and they're blocking people, or I'm just going to spread out in 4 wide and seeing if so we can get evaluations on what they can do from route running ability, but then also just with their blocking ability. So Coach Blau has done a great job with those guys. He brings some good energy. Those guys are probably the hardest workers. They're blue collar. They line up. They're not afraid to go stick their face in there and go fight somebody. But then I always laugh when you get them out in space and have them run like vertical routes, and you just get to see what they're capable of doing. So you're going to see those guys a lot in the rotation.
What are your goals for Sam this week coming off that first scrimmage?
We just got to keep understanding just situational football and understanding our players, and then the flow of the game. Because we'll call the same plays over and over at times, and sometimes the run may be hitting better a previous day than what it currently is like on today. So how are you finding ways to move the ball? So it's like to play quarterback, it's a feel for how the game's going. It's a feel for your players and your matchups on the perimeter on who's coming to win, and who do you trust the most. So like every single rep I've challenged them with of learning the situation, understanding the flow of the game, and trying to figure out what guys are getting open for you, and how you're building the continuity. And maybe you're off with a throw, and maybe you're thinking something different. We'll go and correct it. So quarterback play is a lot of psychology and a lot of just trying to figure things out. So you're talking to your teammates a lot, but then you're also trying to understand the situation and the down and distance, the flow of the game, and everything of that nature. So that's what I've been challenging Sam. Taking it baby steps though, because you can't just throw it all on him. But I think as more comfortable he gets with our offense, the more and more he's starting to learn and figure out the players around him.